Well, as you can see and probably hear by the rain on the car roof, this is not the best of days today. Certainly you wouldn't think the kind of day where you could go looking for invertebrates, but as Baldrick used to say, I have a cunning plan. The cunning plan is returning to one of my regular haunts on such days like this in order to try and find some interesting invertebrate. I'm at a garden centre today, a garden centre in the north of Nottinghamshire. My quarry today is to try and find another example of a millipede, and it's Cylindroilus truncorum, species which are found at this garden centre a couple of years ago. I found it on 2 occasions, but that was in 2020, and it was new for Nottinghamshire, and on current going it is the most northerly UK record. Cylindroilus truncorum is rare in Nottinghamshire, but you never know with garden centres exactly what you're going to find. I know I'm going to find a lot of water here because boy have we had some rain. So without further ado, let's try and get myself inside without getting too wet. I don't want to ruin my hair. We'll see if we can turn anything up. Now, glass houses such as this, with a generally hard standing area, plants in pots stood on gravel, the gravel itself covering a plastic membrane. It's usually under the pots, or most often under that membrane, where invertebrates are best found. Species of flatworms can occur in garden centres, they're renowned for it, but also millipedes and centipedes as well. And if you're looking at garden centres and you're looking for invertebrates, expect the unexpected and expect the exotic. Those exotic species that have come here through the horticultural trade. It's a great way of adding new species to your county list, and some unexpected species too. Been a number of species usually found in tropical climes that have turned up in greenhouses such as this and in weather such as this. Now, quite often most millipedes that are found at garden centres have been under larger standing plants such as this rhododendron. Nothing under this one, but it's a case of just working your way through the plant stock, and anywhere where invertebrates can get, any cracks and crevices under any stones, just look anywhere and something eventually turns up. Just starting to have a look under these liverworts and mosses that are growing on this damp corner. Always good places to look. It's very wet though. Unfortunately, I have found one flatworm and a couple of interesting Cylindroilus millipedes. One which I suspect is Cylindroilus truncorum. The other is probably Cylindroilus caerulenctus, which is a large Cylindroilus species, but there is one more millipede that I found that looks interesting. It might just be Ophiuchus pilosus, so it'll need to come back. It'll probably be glad of the ride. It's surprising what does turn up, and if you're looking for invertebrates at garden centres, maybe while you're being dragged around by the wife and mother-in-law, good things to look for are spiders. A number of spiders can have turned up, and especially have turned up at this garden centre. Badumna being one. That's an Australian species, and a species which I featured on a video earlier in 2022. But if you're interested in invertebrates, it's varied, then woodlice can turn up and are worth looking for, and certainly millipedes and centipedes too. We have an awful lot to thank the horticultural trade for bringing us some fabulous new species into the county. Well, I've got a nice little selection of millipedes, several cylindroilus examples, one which I think may well be truncorum after all, but I need to take them back home and get them under the microscope to confirm any identification. So the short half-hour visit here in the dry, while it's chucking it down with rain outside, may well have paid off with another record of this rare millipede to Nottinghamshire. Let's hope so.